How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Crossways. I'm Ian Wright, and where's my co-P? Where's my co-P?
I'm here.
Hey,
hi everyone.
Steph Houghton.
How are you, Ian?
I'm really good. It's to be honest, Steph. It's been a bit of an up and down week, but at the end of the day, it's all sorted now. So we're back to the football. Everything's good. Mm-hmm. Obviously, when the men beat Real Madrid, I thought I couldn't go to any other level in respects of happiness on that day. Obviously, you saw that video I put out screaming. But honestly, watching the girls against Lyon is something outworldly for me, out of this worldly. But we'll start with Chelsea. But before I get onto the excitement of how proud I am of Arsenal, we can simply remember
all that, and we can go Chelsea,
exactly.
Then your team.
Yeah, because I did say I'll be happy to eat humble pie, and I'm just stuffed with it now. So we'll go into that in a minute. But Chelsea, oh my gosh.
We didn't see that coming, did we?
We didn't see it coming. I was expecting in this particular game that obviously conceding like they did in the last game, we saw how they were at the end of that game with Lucy Bronze kind of in that circle, balling people out a little bit, and you're thinking, wow, they must have had a serious week in respects of, right, come on, we've got to do that, But I honestly didn't see it. I thought the organisation, the lack of closing down, how easy Barcelona got out to score. I think Chelsea got a lot of thinking that they'll be doing, because again, Steph, it comes down to the fact that they are dominating our league, and then they've come up against the teams that they obviously prepare for that competition. They come up against the best teams in it, and they looked really bad. They looked poor.
It's mad, isn't it? Because you look at that Spanish league and you're thinking, is it as competitive as the WSL? And you probably would say it wasn't. But when it gets to them, the top games in the Champions League, it's, what I was really impressed with, Ian, is that you've got so many amazing individuals for Barcelona, but the players a team. And I think that's so hard to do. And I think Chelsea, they've spent a lot of money. They've got a lot of great players, and they've shown that in the WSL. They've won the League Cup. In the FA Cup final, they got to a semi-final of the Champions League, and that doesn't take away how good they are as a team. But I don't feel as though on Sunday, and especially in the away leg, they actually played as a team. Did they play together, or were they just individuals trying to correct a situation where when you play against the likes of Barca and you play against the likes of Matty in midfield, they're going to open you up, and they did that on Sunday. They were top quality.
They were so good.
Yeah, I think I love Pina on the side. I think she's going to be some player. She's technically unbelievable. Her goal was out of this world.
Yeah. I like Eva Payot.
Yeah.
You know what I do love about Barcelona, and I remember watching them when they I think they got beat by Lyon the year after they battered Chelsea.
Yeah.
And I watched them, and they were a team on that day. Lyon just absolutely, and this is what I thought Chelsea would do. Lyon just absolutely smothered them to the point where the Barcelona players were making mistakes they never make. Mm-hmm. They never made those mistakes. And obviously, Lyon went on to batter them. I think it was 4-1 in the end. But I thought that Chelsea would have gone out like that against Barcelona to try and just knock them off their stride, just to make them feel like we're going to get close. We're going to make it very tough. We know you've got 3 goals to the good. But they never done that. They never got close. I don't think Chelsea, they just didn't look ready for what was coming.
No, I think for me, I think the defending wasn't great. I think there was so many gaps in midfield, between midfield and defence. I think that first goal that Matty scores is, obviously you're probably looking at Hannah a little bit in terms of being beat at the front post. And I think there's no coincidence that Matty puts it high, because I think she already sees Hannah kind of trying to go low. But for me, I think even if you look at the first 3 goals, they're all different types of goals, but they were just so ruthless. And I think for me, we look at the way that Barca play, and they play a Barca way. It's like tippy-tappy football, but it's actually, like, to say what you're saying, Ian, they are able to mix it up, and they've got players that are able to do that. And I think that's another edge to Barca that we haven't maybe really seen.
I think we're seeing it now,
especially in that Lyon game that you're talking about. Yeah. I think that's something that they've learned, and that comes with experience and also investing in quality players. And Like Pina last week started on the bench and she's come on and she started this week and the
Scored again.
competition's really high. So I think for Chelsea, I think to get beat 8-2 on aggregate is
in the semi-finals, Steph. That's the thing.
yeah.
If you're gonna, if you can have some off days early on in the competition and maybe get beaten like that, but when you're a side like Chelsea, who, let's face it, the way that they dominate our league, like I've mentioned, I'm expecting a lot more in the Champions League. And I think that some of the mistakes, I think Lee Charles didn't have a good game. Ramirez didn't have a good game. I think Lucy Bronze didn't have a good game. I think that it might be
you need them players.
That's who you need. Yeah, you need them.
Game, yeah.
But I think that the way Barcelona played, the speed in which they were moving the ball and then changing it up going longer into either Payor, and that was
that's
just
the thing for me, Ian, is the speed.
Yeah.
I think we just automatically think when you're keeping the ball, it's always slow, but they're able to do that at such a high intensity that Chelsea couldn't get a grip on the game. And that was from the very first game in Barcelona.
It's one of the things with Barcelona when I watch the game, and I don't do the comparisons with the men's and the women's, but what I do notice about Barcelona when they play, for a women's team, they move the ball really quickly. And I think that comes down to the fact that they're all so capable in respect of their technique. You can play it quickly. Yeah. They can control it however it's coming to you and move it on quickly. And I think that is what they, at the moment, they've got over all the teams, I think. All the teams in the Champions League and in their league, obviously, because the second goal, what Lyon scored against us at our place, and we'll go on to that game in a minute, was that kind of football. Yeah. It was quick, bam, 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 goal. And Barcelona are the best at doing that. I enjoy watching them because of how quickly they move the ball and how in sync everybody is and how bloody ruthless the strikers are.
Ruthless, yeah. I think even like you talk about Payor's goal, but it looks simple, but that's something that they've worked on. There's no way that she doesn't get in the edge of the 6-yard box to put a tap in. That's something that Barca as a team, their style of play, like they know where everybody's going to be and they know the strengths of different players. And plus you add Pina's goal on top of that, which is just individual skill and no keepers saving that. So I don't know what you think. What about do you think it's a bit of a mental block for Chelsea in terms of they're just being beat by Barca 3 years in a row?
Yeah, there's something that, I think there must be something in that, Steph. Because obviously, again, it goes back to that hammering they took from Barcelona in that final. Yeah. I think that they've, as much as there's a few players that have come in and a few players that maybe have moved on, but I don't think as a club they've moved on from that. And when you look at Barcelona, they've definitely moved on from that, because I think out of the two teams, Barcelona will be looking forward to playing Chelsea a lot more than Chelsea will be looking forward to playing Barcelona. And what Chelsea need to do is they need to start getting themselves into that headspace where we are equals, where we're competing as equals with you. Yes, you've got some of the best players in the world, but we've got great players as well. We should be organised enough to play against Barcelona, and give them a game. It should not be 8-2 in the semi-final. And I think there must be something mentally that they're not doing. I think tactically, Steph, the other day, I didn't know what the plan was, because they weren't trying to close down high press and they weren't getting close to people on the midfield. Pateas had oceans of space.
I think that was the thing that I spotted, was the gaps. And it's like, you need everybody to, if you are going to be really aggressive and try and start really well, especially at Stamford Bridge, then you need everybody to be able to do that, but you need them physical characteristics to be able to kind of close them down, force them back. But I think we maybe spoke about this in the pod maybe a few weeks ago in terms of the actual style of Chelsea, because I think I look at it and it's a bit of Emma Hayes' old style, but also Sonia trying to have her kind of input on what she wants her team to be. And look, it's going to take longer than a season to get that input, because she's gradually building that squad and they've done unbelievable in terms of what they've done in the league. It's been so hard to get any points off them, and they can wrap the league up this week in terms of against United, and they without a doubt should win the league. But at the Champions League, if that style of play, if you haven't got every player that's kind of how do I say it, on board with their messages, it's hard to then go and play against a Barcelona that are never going to change the way that they play.
But, you know, we look at the Spanish league and then we look at how Barcelona dominate it and we think, well, of course, they're so good. Chelsea dominate our league the same. I think some of the games they have to obviously play a little bit they have to play a little bit better just to see the teams off, then they kind of cruise. I think that Barcelona's headspace in being able to take the levels that they have to play against in their league, and they could take that to the Champions League and still be at a very high level. Whereas I think Chelsea, because of the level that maybe they're playing against, in respects of in respects of a levels and changing the level to go to what Barcelona are now doing, I think they find that difficult because when you watch the way that game went, they looked like they didn't know what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like they didn't know what they were doing.
Bit like they were lost. And I think when you're getting beat already 4-1, it's kind of, you probably do open yourself up because you're trying to go for the game. But I just think as a football club and what they've done in terms of investment into the game, which is absolutely brilliant, I think they'll be really disappointed because I feel as though we all probably thought it was potentially going to be Chelsea's year this year.
Yeah.
Because the likes of Gurma, you've got Kira Walsh and Lucy Bronze that have come over from Barca to Chelsea to go win the Champions League. And it's going to be a lot of reflection, but I can only see them really bouncing back in the league, and hopefully they'll be hoping that they get that league wrapped up this week.
I just feel that it's going to be a little bit of a damp squib for them simply because of the manner in which they went out the Champions League. I always want the English teams to do well out there. I want Chelsea to do well. I remember watching the Champions League when they lost, and it was like a demolition job Barcelona done on them. And I think mentally, I don't think the club has got over that. Whereas I think that Barcelona have continually made strides to get better at what they're doing, to dominate. And I think that's what they've done. And that is why, you know, that segue into the Arsenal game now. Obviously, Arsenal against Barcelona in the final.
That was seamless, transition.
Did you like that? I feel like
good.
It's starting to happen for me in respect to the podcast and segues. Yeah, segues. I spelled segues the other day and I spelled it wrong because you meant to spell it S-E-G-U-E and I spelled it S-E-G-W-A-Y-S, and I was just so stupid. But saying that, Barcelona-Arsenal in the final, can I just say, remember I said, Steph, about having to eat humble pie because them girls are going to have to put in the kind of performance against an experienced Lyon side that are the winningest team in it. You know, I'm listening back to myself now thinking, yeah, you were so negative, but I didn't have anything at that particular moment to hang my hat on simply because I didn't see where it was going to come from. Because remember, I think there was a stat going around about Kim Little, no assists, no forward passes and that. And can I just say, Kim Little was player of the match for me. She experience, the way she played box to box, this was a performance of a Kim Little of 5-10 years ago. It was immense what she done. Katie McCabe, the way Katie McCabe played. I loved the way Katie McCabe played simply because we know that she's mischievous. We know that she's somebody that the referees and that are looking for. We needed her to be what she is, and that is getting under your skin, but at the same time saying, referee, I'm really sorry, I've tried to pick people up, doing it. She done all of that the other day. It was the kind of performance where you think to yourself, yes, Katie, that is what you're
as well, she
doing.
brings so much more than that as well, doesn't she? And like, there's no coincidence that she's playing left back at the moment and she's bringing what she can bring. And that left foot and her relationship with Caitlin Ford. To be honest, we could probably go through the whole of the Arsenal team and really kind of big them up, but then this is what I'm saying, like when you get to this stage in the semi-finals, you need everybody to be like 9 out of 10. And like you spoke about Kim Little there and you're watching the highlights and she just plugged every gap that was available. And like as a midfielder, I think everybody thinks, okay, you've got to just be so focused on going forward, making assists, goals, but actually breaking up play, being in them positions to get the second balls, being able to start play from probably a bit deeper. And we know that Kim can advance a lot more, but her role's definitely changed this season and being a bit more of that, having that responsibility to protect the back four. But ultimately, Arsenal, in terms of intensity, ruthlessness, were by far the better team. And I think we called it last week. We both had a feeling that they would make the final because of the second half performance at the Emirates. There was enough to show that there was chances to be there. Lyon were able to be open, especially if you stopped their front three playing.
Yes, and we did.
And Arsenal did that.
And can I just say as well, you've got to mention Caitlin Ford against Ellie Carpenter, who is arguably one of the best right backs in the country. But obviously them knowing each other. What I got from that performance from Caitlin Ford is somebody that causes her problems in training when they're with the Matildas, because I
can imagine them doing that,
because she just looked so up for it, and Ellie Carpenter looked so afraid, so apprehensive in her defensive work, especially.
It's like she won the battle before they'd even started.
It felt like she had something over her, because I was thinking, we do need Caitlin Ford. She's the one that can run us out of danger. She's got the pace. She'll take people on. She was absolutely unbelievable in that game.
Her finish as well, Ian, you'll know more than me, was like, that is a classy finish. I think similar to Bonmati in terms of where you put it to place it. Yeah, I think. But can we just talk about Caldenti?
Oh, well, the goal.
She's been one of my favourite players this season, but that goal is... You talk about experience. She's experienced winning this trophy. And
this is what I think. This is her fifth on the spin now, isn't it? The fifth final she's having on the spin.
Crazy.
You know what? Can I just say, for the goal and the way it came about? Obviously, we done well down the right, and it came across the box and it went to her. I wasn't expecting that much of a shot. Like, even where she was, I thought maybe she's going to slip it in.
Yeah, it was congested, wasn't it?
And then she clipped it into the top corner.
You know, when you're having a good season, when you're just attempting them, and Russo's trying to get out the way. And I mean,
with Russo as well.
The Crossways group chat was going off at that point.
Yes. It was, the thing is, it was one of those performances where, again, the scenario was Arsenal have got to go to the home of a team that's won it the most, and they're going to have to overturn them. Now, I was not expecting it to be what it was, but you could see by the way that they stunned the crowd with the goals. Like, the first goal was really very fortunate, and that kind of gets you back in the game. But obviously, Caldente's goal was magnificent. But then the defense from Lyon's point of view, my gosh.
I know, because Renard comes in there, and I just think, okay, you can understand why. You've kind of put her in, because she's experienced at this level. She's a present, but I think within them first 2 or 3 minutes, I think Kim Little has a chance, and then the corner comes off that, and the pressure's on them because it's 2-2. You're at your own stadium, and defensively they just weren't in sync whatsoever. The mistakes. But I don't think Arsenal let them do that.
I think what the mistakes they made was the energy of Arsenal as well. Our closing down was brilliant. Was all over them. We didn't let them play. Like I say with Katie McCabe, especially, she didn't let Diani get into it. She was in and around everybody. She was close. She was making tackles. Kim Little was doing a great work.
Even Russo come back.
Can I just say with Leslie, this is the Alessia Russo that we've signed. This is the Alessia Russo. What we're seeing now that we signed. That obviously Jonas couldn't activate her. She's now been activated. A hold-up play. You almost feel like if she gets half a chance, she's going to take it. I thought the way she backed into Wendy Renard, held the ball, linked play up. I was thinking she's somewhere else. She's somewhere else.
It looks simple though, Ian, and I think this is where I think people get a bit clouded that we were expecting Alessia to score worldies all the time, to be that number 9 for Arsenal and England. The simple things like holding the ball up and playing it back with good quality, that creates attacks. And you know what, I messaged her after the game because I thought she was unbelievable. I'm a big fan of her, I think, in terms of her work rate, and I think all that hard work does eventually pay off.
Well, it does.
She's adding goals to her game. She's joining up the play with the midfielders. She's getting more relationships with Caitlin Ford, Chloe Kelly, Beth Mead, whoever might be on them wings, and she's going to be a massive threat in the Euros, but I think she could potentially be a threat for Barca going forward.
Without doubt, and because, let's face it, people will probably put Barcelona as the favourites, and rightly so, with the way they... But like, what I saw with that performance, the second half at home, and then then obviously the performance against Lyon in Lyon, is the kind of performance that you can look back on and say, if we can do this, we will give them a game, without a doubt.
Yeah.
We know what Barcelona are capable of, but we've now seen what we're capable of. Listening to Renee say, yes, we know that Lyon are a good team and they can go another level. And I think we saw that with the second goal they scored at our place. how quickly they can like cut you apart. But at the same time, Renee said that, but we can go to another level. You know, seeing her bringing someone like Katie Reid on, 18-year-old, at the end there, making 2 fantastic blocks. I cannot explain to people what that will mean for Katie Reid to come on in a game of that stature. And
as a youngster that's been there for a long time.
Thank you. And make those blocks. So she contributed. Same with Lotta Wibbenmoy. Somebody who's not getting a lot of game time, coming on to help close the game out. You know, we're talking about a team, to me, that's in that performance, they're together. Now they're going to have to climb a massive mountain. But like, why? Who hasn't when you get to this stage of the Champions League?
Why not? They've come over like Real Madrid when they were getting beat 2-0. They've brought them back to the Emirates, and that performance, like, that is the best I've seen Arsenal play apart from the semi-final against Lyon away. And I think when you have that confidence going into a big game like a final, it's now going to be interesting the last few games of the season in terms of how you keep that rhythm going, how you keep the team not motivated, but how do you keep them like, okay, that is the standard in terms of what we've set over the last 2 Champions League games. And for me, I think it's a great opportunity. And you know what, Ian, like when you're in a final, anything can happen.
Can I just say, Steph, and I don't know if Alex is going to be vexed or even you are, but I'm so pleased. And I'm not saying it negatively about anybody, but I'm just pleased that Daphne Van Domsel is there. You know what, when I played, I remember Dave Seaman got injured and we had our backup keeper. The best backup keeper we ever had was Alex Meninga, Austrian goalkeeper. He was magnificent. But I remember in the early days, even at Palace, when Nigel Martin was injured, I used to get so afraid. When Dave Seaman was injured, I used to get so afraid. And so, you know, having your number one back, it kind of gives you a confidence that you feel like you can go forward, because you then feel like any kind of speculative shot or something that you should be saving will be saved. And you know, it may sound like I'm digging out. I'm not digging out. I'm just trying to explain to people what the importance of a goalkeeper, that is a good goalkeeper in there, because she helps you, she saves you, she keeps you in the match. And with all due respect to Zinzi, I don't think that she's the kind of keeper that in a game like that against a Barcelona, I don't think she makes the saves that keep us in the game to then go on to win the match. So I'm hoping that, you know what I mean, Daphne can continue to play as well as she's been playing.
No, you know what? You do need your best keepers. You need your best teams to be playing in these quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals of Champions League. And that gives the team a big boost that she was fit and she was available on Sunday. And as a defence as well, when you're so used to playing with a certain goalkeeper, and you know how they move, you know areas where you can maybe go, actually, I don't mind them shooting from there because that is her bread and butter. And that's how you build confidence. And I think it is a massive boost. And I think sometimes you don't really probably neglect the goalkeepers in terms of when we look at the starting lineups, you probably focused on the front 3, the midfield 3, whatever that might be. But ultimately, if you have a settled goalkeeper, that does spread calmness. I feel as though all I've spoke about was goalkeepers this weekend in terms of men's football, women's football, but ultimately they win your games. They really do. I think Russo, we speak about Russo, her goals, but ultimately in their moments against the best teams, you need your keeper to have a 10 out of 10 performance.
You don't really win the big ones without a good goalkeeper. But can I say as well, you can't go to a place like Lyon with their experience and not be afraid of what may happen. But can I just shout out the 500 fans that went, those, Steph?
Why did this stuff stick them right up in there?
I know.
That's terrible, that.
When you look at the stadium and the amount of space on this one, and look at the amount of space that was in the stadium, to put them all the way up there, you know, it doesn't matter in the end, because obviously we won the game. You know what,
you're winning and you're thinking, all right, okay, put us wherever you want, because we've just watched our team get to a Champions League final.
But I've got to say to those fans, brilliant on you, well done for going. I'm sure the girls would have so appreciated it, you know, going to that place where people wouldn't have fancied us to win it, but they've gone there and you can hear them continually. Fantastic.
They go everywhere, don't they?
They're so good.
I mean, I've got a good relationship still with the Arsenal fans in there. They're fantastic. So
I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
They deserve that, because what is it, 18 years since the last Champions League?
You know what? I'm just happy for them, because they've been so up and down this season. There's so many questions. Rene's going to say, what's going to happen? Who are we going to get? Who's coming in? Have we got the mental capacity? Are our players getting too old? Joe Montemora knows too many of the players. Can we get over? You know what I mean? There's so many questions. And to be honest, they answered every single one in that performance because they absolutely battered them. And they weren't ready for it. And that is what I was saying, just quickly with Chelsea. Lyon would have been very confident, especially Wendy Renard leading them out. But we went there with a game plan to press them, put them under pressure, and it worked. I think that Chelsea didn't have a game plan because I think in their minds, they genuinely thought coming up against arguably the best women's team around, I think they are the best women's team around. I don't think that they went out there with the fight and belief that they could do anything. So they didn't. So they didn't force an issue. So you don't force an issue against Barcelona's of this world, Steffi. You're going to get beat. So I've got to say, well done to Barcelona, and obviously fantastic for Arsenal getting to the Champions League final. I can't wait for the game. And yes, I do believe we can beat them. Absolutely, we can.
I love that.
You have to, Steph. Otherwise, what we're doing, you cannot let people not have the joy of getting there. Because what's going to happen, Steph, is that people are just going to talk about how great Barcelona are, and we're going to be kind of like the side piece, you know what I mean, where people are thinking...
I think that suits you, though.
Well, I think so too, because you want it to be where they're all going on about Barcelona.
The pressure's more on them, eh? And
then all we need to do is when we get there on the day, say, okay, here we are. We've got our game plan. Come and show us how good you are. We're not going to just let you do it. Come and show us because we're ready. So that's why I'm confident with the team. That's why I'm confident we can beat them.
Proper Arsenal.
Yay!
I'm surprised you didn't have your Arsenal shirt on, like Alex,
something?
to be honest.
Can I be totally honest? At the moment, because I'm in this room down here, I can't find it. I should have worn it this morning. I'm going to wear it tonight.
Next week.
Yeah, I'm going to wear my Arsenal shirt tonight, I think.
Oh yeah, big game tonight as well, isn't it?
Tonight, so that's another story.
Before we do the results,
go on.
We need to do a shout out, I think, to West Ham.
Oh my gosh, of course we do.
And Shakira Martinez, 4 goals. And she's been a standout player from those that are not in the potential top 4 teams, I think. West Ham have been on fire since Christmas.
Yeah. And the thing with it is that when you just see the goals keep going and then it says West Ham 7-1.
Yeah, crazy.
Right, and then you think to yourself, the first thing you think, obviously you see Martinez's name popping. I'm thinking, the way she's playing, because remember when she played against us earlier in the season, she roasted us.
Yeah,
she roasted us. So how many did she get in? Was it 3 or 4?
4. She got a hat trick in 45 minutes.
I'm worried for West Ham.
And they were all great goals as well, like both feet, like taking the keeper on, rounding the keeper, I think. And also Asai, she scored a goal from pretty much halfway line, chipping the keeper.
Honestly, and Palace confirmed relegation.
I think it's hard when you don't have that investment and the gap's big, isn't it? So...
Well, the thing is that what I said, and I said to Steve, because I know him very well, Steve Parish, the owner, is that this game it will embarrass you if you're not doing the right things. And this is what I love about the women's game. The women are just so desperate to play and compete and try and realize their dreams and that. And it's down to the owners to back them. You have to back them. You can't be looking continually to say, well, am I going to get this on my return? If I'm spending this much on it. No, you've got to go in. And unfortunately, you go in like Chelsea. Chelsea obviously let themselves down massively, especially in the Champions League, because I know that's what they're aiming for. But in respects of the Palace of this world, the Leicesters, and all those teams, those kind of teams, Brighton, you've got to back them teams and give them a chance, because you look at West Ham have turned it around. Couple of good signings, good coaching. They look like they know what they're doing. And now look at West Ham. Look at what West Ham are doing. You've got to commit. That's what I would say to them owners.
You need them quality players to be able to push them up the league. But I agree.
Commit to these teams and let them cook. I don't want to say let them cook.
This is a happy pod for you, because we'll do the results, which Alex has just sent through. Oh, look at your smug face there.
I'm not smug face.
I'll let you actually, because of last week. So
shall
I do the scores and then you can celebrate? Yeah.
What celebrate? What? I don't even know what I'm doing.
Well, apparently remontada. So.
A remontada.
So, total scores, Ian, 91.
Mm.
And I have 102. But you actually got the Chelsea score correct. So you got a +5.
Wow.
And also you predicted, was it Brighton to win? And I predicted a draw.
Wow.
So I'm feeling a bit sweaty and the pressure's on with two matches to
go. I'm just closing
rounds of matches to go.
Right. So
are you happy with that? That's
of course
impressive.
I'm happy. You know why I'm happy? I'm look. Can't you hear? I'm talking through smiling because I'm so bad. But I thought to myself, I need to think about it more. Think about it. But I don't care anyone. I would never have got West Ham to do 7-1. But there's some of the games where I'm looking like, even the ones I'm looking at now, I'm thinking, oh God, I've gone back into, I'm going with my heart mode. But like, I'm really pleased because I'm so bad at predictions and I want to be so good at them.
Do you want to go first on the Villa Arsenal game?
Right. So it's okay. So Villa Arsenal, I'm going to go. Obviously, Arsenal have got so much on their mind at the moment, Steph. But I'm going to go Arsenal to win because of the form. But then again, Steph, this is what I'm saying. Is she going to rest people? Is she going to? I don't know what she's going to do.
Well, your next game is the Monday. So you got Wednesday, Monday.
I think that I'm going to go Arsenal 2-0.
Oh, I was going to do that one as well. I might just copy your scores because then I'll always do it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, Steph. That would be plain unfair if you just copy my
No, I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Next one, right. Manchester United v Chelsea.
Chelsea very down, very gloomy. They're going to have to lift themselves up, against the Manchester United side that should recognise that and go at them. Because when you look with Chelsea and the lack of closing down, the spaces in the midfield, Tooney could get some space. I feel like I know what I'm going to say. I'm
going to go. I think Chelsea will bounce back. 2-1 Chelsea.
See, I wanted to say 2-1 because I was going to give Man United a
goal.
It. But no, because I don't want to be the same as you. I've got to go. I was just going to say to you, do you think Chelsea will win? I'm going to go with Chelsea to win as well. I'm going to go 3-1 to Chelsea, even though I feel like they're very low on confidence. They have to bounce back. So 3-1 I'm going. 3-1 Chelsea, Man United. Liverpool, Everton, the big derby.
Ooh, couple of derbies there next week.
Yeah, there is, yeah. Sunday the 4th of May we're talking about now. So who's first on this one?
You.
I'm going to go Liverpool 3-0.
Ooh. I'm going to go 1-0 Liverpool.
Okay.
Next one, Manchester United v Man City.
The Manchester derby. Who's back? Who's fit now, Steph? We've got fit.
Hempo's back and Alex Greenwood's back. So they're like new signings, aren't they?
Oh, that's lovely. I'm so pleased for them. Pleased for them both. I'm glad they're both back.
So this could potentially be a big game for Champions League football, depending on the score against Chelsea for Manchester United. You know what? I'm like you now. I'm confusing myself. Yeah,
but you know who City will be picking at least. I don't. This isn't fair now.
Not yet. I'm gonna go 1-0 Manchester City.
Yeah, because Empo's back as well. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go 2-1 Manchester City.
Nice. Palace Leicester.
Palace down. I'm so sorry, Palace. I know. But it's tough. Again, I'm not going to blame the girls. They did their best. Palace, Leicester. Who's first?
Your turn now.
I'm going to go 1-1.
Ooh.
See, I've opened the door there. I feel like it's the way you said that.
I'm going to go 2-1 Leicester.
You think
Leicester played well the other day?
They did, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Okay, moving on because you're going to change your mind.
I'm not going to tell. Okay, so Tottenham, Chelsea.
I'll go Chelsea 3-0.
I'll go Chelsea 4-0.
West Ham, Villa.
Jesus, I'm going to go West Ham 9. Not really.
Martinez 9.
I think, you know what? I think West Ham are going to cause some. I'm going to go, I'm going to go bold on this one. I'm going to go West Ham 4-1.
I'll go West Ham 2-0.
Is that all? See, this is why I'm going all out now because like
you have to. There's 2 games left.
I'm 10. I'm 11 points maybe off you. I feel like if I could get 2 of those right, and then go into the last game of the season, you know, being like maybe 2 points off you or something, I feel like I might be able to nick it. But then you might just do that thing where you just say the exact same. Oh my gosh.
I can't. Last game, Brighton and Arsenal.
On
the Monday. I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal. Oh, actually, no, 2-1 Arsenal.
I'll go 2-0 Arsenal. I wanted 2-0 as well. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. So that's it.
Well, let's see what happens.
Yep. And then we'll go from there, Steph. But like, again, I've got to say, commiserations to Chelsea because I know how much it means to you guys to try and get to the Champions League final because of how dominant you are in our league, and rightly so. You're brilliant in our league, but I think there's going to be a lot of soul searching and, you know, those sitting down and staring into the distance moments you're going to have for Chelsea, especially over the summer. So hopefully they can get over that quickly. But for Arsenal, I've got to say, what an unbelievable achievement from the girls. Playing against one of the best. Look forward to it, fans. All the fans look forward to this. Do not let the joy be dampened by people saying, oh, Barcelona are going to do this and that. Enjoy it and then go and show them what you're about. So really, congratulations to Arsenal.
Yeah, and big congrats.
Massive congrats. But like Chelsea can Chelsea win the league this week?
Yeah, if they beat United.
Exactly. So Chelsea have still got something to look forward to. So yeah, so that's it, Steph.
Love that episode. It was nice to.
Nice. It's always good to see you, Steph.
Out.
Yeah. You know, it's always good to see you, Steph, because you make me smile because it's been quite a tough week. So I'm quite pleased.
You know what, Ian? Can I just say
down.
this? And this has not been kind of preempted or whatever, but I think I posted on Instagram, like, what you have done for our game is unbelievable. And I think you've got to take all the credit that everybody's thrown at you this last week because you are a superhero. Oh. So, and I love working with you.
I love you, Steph. You know what, Steph? To see you come out publicly like that for me, it's just nice. But I just wish people just understand it's not about the individual in the women's game. And again, it's just about the collective. And I'm not gonna go into it, but I just really appreciate the public support that I got. Thanks.
You're
Steph.
the best.
You're the best, Steph. No, you're the best.
And we'll see you all next week.
No, but Steph, you didn't say and good luck to the guys tonight, Steph.
Yeah, good luck to the guys.
I wish people could have saw your face there.
Oh,
nice one. Take it easy, Steph. I love you.
You too. Love you too.
Bye.